Hey everyone, we're live again. I'm going to kind of clean up my mess here because we just kind of went over all of the tools that 31 Oils carries. I want to do open Q&A with you guys. We just decided the 1 o'clock time slot will be my story. So maybe not a Q&A there, but we're going to try and do that at 1 o'clock. So that should be really good. So welcome. I hope that you guys are having fun with this supplements week. This is our last day. I feel like I'm going to miss you guys when we're done, but you guys know I'm always on here. So we do the best we can with giving you guys as much education as possible. So this is an open Q&A time, which means I got to try and catch your questions as they're going because it's the live feed. So if you have a question, let me know. We just launched the Supplements Desk Reference 2 hours ago. I haven't even checked if anyone has questions. I'm sure there has been questions. And let me do this because I always know we have a bunch of people getting added. I can't add you. I've got people adding you guys, but it's a big day. It's always fun. So if you go to Jen O'Sullivan Author, it's facebook.com/Jen O'Sullivan Author. It's right at the top, the Supplements Desk Reference, ability to purchase and ability to subscribe to my newsletter. You're welcome to do that. I don't spam people, so it's really just like every once in a while that I message you. Let me get over to the human body. So if you are watching me on the live YouTube channel, my main space for education, which gives you a really good route to take and maybe some of you guys don't know this, but you can actually go to the learning tabs and get a bunch of resources there in order. So let me see what questions you have. So let me see if I can actually get into this. And so, okay, so best supplements, Lisa coming in from Canada. Hello, and hello from Indonesia. I love that. Best supplements for menopause, maybe postmenopausal. Okay, so she's asking about postmenopausal. So there's several things that you can consider. And of course, the live video is not coming up, so I'm gonna have to try and read them on my phone. Let's go back and see. Am I on the right spot? I do that sometimes where I absolutely, I guess we're live here. I think we're good. Okay, there, I found it. I found you guys. I have to be able to see the questions on my computer because it's too small. I can't see. Then I'm like having to get my glasses. I don't know if you guys know, I wear like these fun little reading glasses and then I'm like, what are we doing here? And they have like fingerprints all over them. It's like typical. Okay, so in the book, there's talking about several areas for hormone support for women. Postmenopausal is, your hormones are still active and working. It's just different. So it's important for you to go to your doctor, figure out what you need, what are some of the areas that you're concerned with. A lot of people are I just saw it's like a time delay, so I just saw me with my glasses on. It cracks me up. A lot of people like to use something very simple like PD-80-20 just to kind of help your hormones doing the right thing. Some people do need thyroid support. So Thiamin, again, it's not a one size fits all. So it's very important for you to figure out what you need and then try and kind of look at the ingredients. And that, I think, is what's so great about this book is you can bring it to your doctor's office and say, okay, what do you think that I need? A lot of times it's other things. So we have to remember, I think part of our brain works in compartmentalizing things where we think, our endocrine system works independently of our circulatory system and it works independently of our immune system and like our gut. It's like, no, they are all interconnected. So oftentimes, like when you need to support your hormones, you really do need to support your circulatory system, your gut health, and your immunity. So simply doing that, and by the way, some of your hormones are messed up because of your diet. I would say a good amount of you, that's probably what's going on. So going through menopause, being postmenopausal, dealing with some of the issues that you're dealing with, getting on a good digestive enzyme and really supporting your gut health. And I can't stress that enough, do the gut health protocol, get on some digestive enzymes, all that, okay? Okay, so do essential oils, I have like the hair on my arms, it drives me nuts. Okay, do the essential oils interfere with technology? For example, I put oils on my wrist, also wear a smartwatch. Okay, so Absolutely. Your smartwatch is, I know you're asking a different question, but your smartwatch usually is plastic, or if you have a leather band or something like that, the oils will deteriorate the watch. So be aware of that. So it will interfere with that. But as far as it interfering with technology, they don't interfere. If anything, the technology messes with the oils. And how this works is we have to understand what electromagnetic radiation is, and how basically all of our electrical devices are vomiting on us these electromagnetic particles that isn't good for our health. What it causes is it causes positive ions, an excess of positive ionization. And positive ionization makes us crazy. Like literally, it makes us loony bins. It's like when Mercury is in retrograde, right before a storm, all of that, we've got our atmosphere becomes high in positive ions, a larger percent of positive ions to negative ions. When we're sitting in an office like this all the time, I've got all this electricity and my computers and my phone and everything is vomiting positive ions. And those are terrible. And what I mean by positive, it's not good ions, it's bad ions. They just happen to be positive, right, as opposed to negative. So adding negative ionization, which is this thing behind me, and it's just stopped, right? So my diffuser has kind of stopped working because I keep running it and adding more water to it. But having the diffuser going helps to take the vomit of the electromagnetic particles coming at me and forces them to the ground somewhat. I like lodestones. So I have a magnet on my computer that's a really strong magnet that holds my phone in place. And it's awesome to see this. I don't know if it's been, I recently cleaned it, but let me see if I can do this for you guys. Oh, sorry, everyone. I'm messing y'all up. Oh, you're not gonna be able to see it. Sorry, I wanted to see, I just cleaned it. So that's why I was like hoping maybe it pulled. What it does is, so electromagnetic radiation is most readily visually seen by a lodestone or a magnet. Okay, so lodestone is a natural magnetized rock. You can take a magnet and set it somewhere near technology, and you will see a concentration of gray dust, and it's basically metal particles. And that is partly the electromagnetic radiation that's going on. It's not exactly what it is, because radiation is specifically getting into your system. And when you look at when you start to understand the science behind this, and you start to see the actual, like your hand, if you're holding a cell phone, it has like red, but then when you take the cell phone away, it goes back to greens and blues. And so putting something on that device, and there's many companies out there that have these like electromagnetic shields. So just look them up. And please, if you sell one that's an MLM, you cannot post it on this feed. So just be aware of that. And several of them are MLMs, but just ask your friends. And it turns your hand blue by putting that shield on there. So we've got them all over our house. I've got one on our smart meter outside, which is one of the biggest offenders in the house. Your Wi-Fi router is super bad. So you could put like magnets around, which helps suck that in, but the diffusers are helpful too. And so what's happening is, so back to the original question, the oils don't interfere, but the magnetic radiation interferes with the oils. What that does is it lowers their frequency. So I have a few oils here around my desk, but I try to kind of move them and rotate them. As long as they're tightly closed, it's not super easy for them to get into the bottle, but do know that like sunlight is that radiation, and that's why you don't want your oils to be in direct sunlight, because what happens is oxidize quicker. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. And there's no real oil. So Heather's question, well, what is the best oil for your diffuser to clear the vomit, right? I love that question. And it's like, it's the water that does the trick. So essential oils have different positive, negative ions, and I haven't really gotten into the science of that. I really feel like all oils are negative ionization, but some people say certain oils have a positive ionization. So apparently it's kind of like the idea. So I'm going to give you an example that maybe you do understand. It's like versus alkaline. Like your body needs to be slightly alkaline, but if it's too alkaline, all sorts of bad things happen. And of course, when it's too acidic, which most of us are, you end up having disease and illness. So So, and you have disease and illness if you're too alkaline as well. So it's the same thing with positive and negative ions. You want to be slightly on the negative ion side, right? So that's why people that have water features in a lot of feng shui people love to have like a water feature at your front entrance, because what it does is it creates an actual, it takes the car, all the cars and everything outside of you, is like creating positive bad ions. But if you walk to someone's home and they have a water feature, well, that water feature is putting water into the air, forcing those positive ions to the ground and creating a very calm environment. And so that's what it does on the science level. Whereas, feng shui people just say, oh, you need a water element because it calms. They don't know the science behind it, but that's the science behind it. So really just putting a diffuser somewhere with water does the trick. So having water features like a pool or a lake, so the flip side of that is people will say, well, you can have too much negative ions. Like, I don't know what that means. I've never experienced too much negative ions ever. So like, let's say, again, I'm just going to be a little facetious here, but let's say you're at your lake house. Let's say you have a friend that has a lake house or something, right? Like, who has a lake house? I don't know. Some of you guys have some pretty cool homes and live with the lake right there. I'm always running out of power. So let's say you live at a lake house and it's like, I don't know, do you ever get sick and tired of being by the lake? Maybe. And that's what they're saying. Like if you have a beach house and you just start. So let me put it this way. Occasionally I'm diffusing too much and I just feel like for whatever reason, I just feel like I don't want to have the diffuser on anymore. That would be that I'm overloaded with negative ions. Doesn't happen too often though, because I'm surrounded by positive ions. So that's where, I feel like that kind of science doesn't make sense to me yet. Maybe it will at some point. And what I mean by the science is the original question that you asked. Are some oils better? Right? I have some people telling me and some books telling me that some of them are positive ion creating, and that absolutely doesn't translate to me. But it's because it's an area that I just don't know about. So maybe one of you guys can teach me. I love it. I love learning new stuff. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Here's a question that just came in from Teresa. How can 2 of your new books be ordered? So you can't order 2 during the launch. It slows down production like massively. So that just means that right now you can buy 1. If you want 2, you just pay for 2 separately. And that's just the way it goes because he does everything like one. He just packs them all up and then it's just slap a label on, slap a label on, slap a label on. It's the best way that we can do this. So you're not going to be able to do more than 1 at a time. The only way to get 2 is if you buy the all the things bundle, which include 2 books. So just so you're aware, or just buy them 1 at a time, right? If it is, or buy 1 now and wait until later. My Team Vitality people are the only ones. Spark Droppers, my own team, my own downliner, and Team Vitality, which is a cross-line group, they have access to buying multiple copies, but even that gets slowed down for them. So when the launch hits, we don't look at those orders until after all the singles go out. So it's out of control during launch. So this is our way of managing it. It's 1 week. So if you want to wait until next week or the week after is when you'll be able to buy multiple copies. So yeah, it is. But you won't have like all the fun stuff that comes with it. So does having a fan in a room cancel all the good? Oh, no. So if you're wondering, like if you have a fan blowing, if your diffuser is at your door and the fan is blowing out, then yes, all the water from the diffuser and the negative ions that are good ions are going out the door. If you have a window open and the diffuser is at the window and the fan is blowing this way, then yes, it's going outside. Not helpful. But if you have like your room and the fan is going in one corner and the diffuser is going another and you have like the doors closed, it's fine. I mean, some of those oils will cause the water to stick to your wall. And some of you guys have seen that. If you've left a diffuser in the same spot for years, the surface gets sticky because not only, and dusty, because not only is it pushing the dust down, but the mist is causing the oils to then potentially deteriorate whatever synthetics are on your counter, because that's, there's always something on there, like some sort of petrochemical or something like that. So hopefully that helps. So Lisa was saying, do you know how much potassium is in Ningxia Red? I have to look that up. I have no clue because I can't remember everything. But if you just looked up potassium, and I don't know if they have it listed. So if they do, it will be in the book. If they didn't list the percentage, then it's not, then it won't be in the book. But I want you guys to understand something about what you can do. So I'm going to give you a tool here. Let me see if I can find it here quickly. So the way to use the back is that it's broken down into sections. The first section is vitamins. The second section is minerals. So you have to kind of consider, is it a vitamin or a mineral? It wouldn't be in the like all list because there's random like bee pollen isn't a vitamin or a mineral, even though it's packed with both. So that's in a additional ingredients. So we have to look up potassium in the minerals list at the front of the section here. So potassium, so it's not even listed because it's not listed on their thing. What I mean by that is it's not one of the ingredients called out. It is in obviously like wolfberries and stuff like that it's in there, but not enough for it to be called out. So that means that I can't tell you. And the best thing to do would be to figure out where the potassium would be in Ningxia Red, and then finding out from, so here's what I want you to write down. You'll write down product support at youngliving.com. And when you ask them a question, you have to ask it very specific. What is the answer you're looking for? And kind of consider what they could say that wouldn't be like helpful to you. And what I mean by that is like, don't say how much potassium is in Ningxia Red. They'll be like, we don't have that information. They will literally say that to you. If you say, I'm interested in learning. So again, you have to do your research. And I don't know this, so this is just off the top of my head. Potassium found in wolfberries, you wouldn't ask that either. You would ask how much like wolfberry puree is in a 1 ounce serving of Ningxia Red. Like you'd have to ask that, so then you can kind of figure out in wolfberry puree how much potassium typically is found in that, right? So that's the question that I would ask. I'm going to bet you, I could even bet you probably $1,000 you won't get an answer to that, because, and I'm not actually betting that, but they won't be able to tell you. And it is what it is. So you could ask, I'm curious how much potassium specifically is in Ningxia Red, 1 serving, or you could ask, about the ingredients that typically have potassium, how much of that ingredient is in there. And then you would have to look online and determine what percentage of potassium is in a serving of whatever it is that you're looking up. I hope that makes sense. Okay. That's typically what I do. So, okay. And can a 1 to 3 year old have Ningxia? Yes. So any baby 6 months old and older, right? Any baby that is now eating Cheerios or whatever, like, I don't know, I guess you guys still give your babies Cheerios, but once they start eating like baby food, like slight solids, you can start feeding them Ningxia Red, and that's up to you. I see pictures of just barely, like, just crawling infants, right, with the Ningxia sachet, and they're like sucking it down. So Ningxia Red is totally safe for that. I know that and there's not enough essential oils in that to make it a problem for consuming, so you should be fine. And that's up to you. I mean, some parents do time to time. Some people give their kid Ningxia Red every day. I give my son 2 ounces a day during school. I give him maybe 1 or 2 every 3 or 4 days during the summer, because he's not out and about seeing people. He's just home with me. So while it's still helpful to him, I'm sort of like, you're fine, just let me know. And all summer long, I'm like, how are you feeling? Okay, here, have some Ningxia. like if he seems a little tired, I'll just give him some Ningxia to kind of fortify his system. But he never got sick this summer at all. He doesn't get sick typically at all, ever. And I can't wait for you guys to hear my story. That's going to happen at 1 o'clock today. So for sure, come back for that. All right. Okay. So Young Living on PD8020 versus Cortistop on the pregnenolone versus DHEA has not called out the amounts in Cortistop. So the okay. And my editors had a field day with this one too. So we're going to end on this question. The DHEA is in PD8020, even though it's not listed. This is why it's called PD8020. It's an 80% to 20%. And they say blend is 500 milligrams. So it's 400 to 100. That would be what it is. Now that could be slightly less, but I'm just giving you guys generally what that means. And 80 to 20. So it's like pregnenolone 80. So 80%, which means 400 milligrams. It's probably less than that because there's other things in that blend, but not really. It's just the substrate. So it's pretty accurate there. Whereas Cortistop, they haven't called it out as far as I know. And let me see here. I'm just going to make sure. See, I have to look in my own book. I love it. I love this book. I've been having so much fun with it because it's like right at my fingertips and I can like answer the question for myself. Cortistop. So yeah, they never called out the percentages, but there's also a bunch of other things in there, right? So they have pregnenolone listed as the top one, which would mean it has the most of that in there. So based on the way our scientists work and chemists and the way Gary worked was that they would research it. I know from my own research that an 80 to 20% rule of thumb is correct. So I'm going to guess that it's an 80 to 20% ratio because of where it's listed on here as well. And based on the fact that they, knew what they were doing here with this, obviously. But I don't know the actual milligrams. And so that could be something where you're welcome to contact product support at youngliving.com. And there you go. So that's it for our open question session here. And I would hope that you guys can spread the love of this. I hope you've enjoyed the series that we've been doing this week on all of the supplement information. I know it's a lot. And many of you guys are like, oh, I have to catch up on all these videos. But that's what I'm known for, doing like a massive amount of free content for you guys. And so it's all it is a thank you for helping me out with just helping spread the word on this. And I appreciate you guys. Also, we're going to launch this at some point on Amazon. Amazon has been giving me troubles. Oh, and we did launch something else today that's sort of a weird quiet launch. Does anyone want to know? There's something else available. Another one of my books that has nothing to do with oils. So we launched the 4th Seasons Journal today. And I'm going to post it on the page so that you guys have the information on that. But if you just look up Seasons Journal by Jen O'Sullivan, the new one, it's so pretty. I'm going to have it tomorrow. But for those of you guys that want it for September 1st, you can Amazon Prime it to yourself. There's a $5 one and a $15 one. The $15 one is all color. These are no profit, by the way, no profit whatsoever. We actually spend money to get these to you guys. So just know that the $15 one is just what it costs Amazon to do a full color book at that size with that many pages. I'm not even kidding you. And any of you guys who self-publish on Amazon, you can look that up. Okay. I think it's like 47 cents or something more. It's like 14 something, or it's bad. And what I mean by that is I can say no profit on that because literally the little tiny pennies that come at us from that goes directly into shipping Bibles to people. So I know this is not a Bible talk or whatever, but this Sunday I will do my monthly message on my author page and talk to you guys and show you guys the new journal. I told you guys my summer one was the favorite one, but this one's straight up my favorite. I love it. It's so pretty. And I do this for myself and to share it with you guys. So it's no profit. We give you pages if you want to create your own journal. So, meaning if you just want to print them out and do that, it's not a for-profit thing, but it's a fun thing. So, and we do a lot of work on this, getting daily verses in there for you. And again, many of you guys are Christians who follow me. Some of you aren't, but if you want a way to journal and calendar and have meeting notes, that's what this is. So you can check that out. That's just a little side note. So this was a little bit longer post today, but I love hanging out with you guys, and I'm going to go to lunch now. And hopefully you guys have more questions for me. The YouTube has been fuzzy, Marty's saying, or Martha. I love it. Yay, Marty. YouTube is fuzzy. I don't know. I can't help YouTube. And it could be something with the internet connection, and my head's cut off. I'm seeing. I try to have to go lower. And yeah, thank you. The oils are beautiful behind me. I love it. The whole thing got knocked, so I apologize by that. That's probably why. That's better. But now we're too high. Oh, it's so sad. It is what it is. So yeah, we have to change the background. So if one of you guys wants to help me design the background, I want to change this out. I bought these from a gal who actually sells doTERRA because she was the only one that had these, and I had her, she had to make them different for me because doTERRA's bottles are smaller. I don't know that you guys know that. Their actual footprint is smaller because they're normal. And what I mean by that is Young Living's the only company that has a patented bottle size and patented orifice reducers. And the reason we do that is so that other companies can't use our orifice reducers. So our bottles are bigger. Did you know that? I think it's super cool. So some of you guys can see like the rounder up here. Those of you guys on YouTube can't see that, but there's like a lazy Susan up there. Oh, now the whole thing's going to fall. But yeah, you can get those at displayyourshelf.com. They're awesome. It's an awesome couple, but they are doTERRA people. And I don't say that like with a, I guess I'm saying it with a weird face, but I don't typically like support like the competition, but so many of you guys are doTERRA users that follow me, and I'm going to encourage you guys to just try Young Living. I'm going to encourage you to sign up with me. Literally, you'll get my cell phone number, and you can slam me with questions all day long. My personal customers know that about me, that I will literally take all of your questions one-on-one, personal. So if you would like to join me on this oily thing that we're doing, it's 946916. You can just call up Young Living and say, I'd like to be on Jen's team, 946916. How do I sign up? Or you can just message me. But yeah, so she does these, and they're fairly expensive, but I see so many other people doing them. And I keep telling people, like, this girl makes so much money off of me because I didn't make these, but I'm not kidding you. Like, she probably makes a fortune off of me because of all the videos I do. So if one of you guys makes them, I'm looking for something in brown wood. I want that kind of like gray wood. I want to change all of this out and make it a new background, but I need somebody who's interested in like that's free advertising all the time. So I won't pay for it. By the way, I've paid for 2 of these, and 2 of them I didn't, because I'm like, it's free advertising for you. So if you want to send me more, it is what it is. So I typically don't, like, I got a pen the other day from a friend of mine, which I'll share with you guys. But again, I don't get money off of this stuff. These are beautiful, all the things that you guys send me. So I don't typically like advertise for other people, and I don't take money for advertising for other people. It just doesn't make any sense to me because it doesn't matter. I'm not like a money hungry, crazy person. And I think people think that I am, but I'm not. Like, I'm selling things because you guys ask them for me. By the way, we started selling one book because it's for my team only, and you guys all asked for it. So that's what it is. Yeah. So anyhow, so if you got somebody you know that wants free advertising space, and we have her link and everything up in the Human Body and Essential Oils group. Okay, that's enough. I keep rambling. We're going to stop this. I'm going to go to lunch, and then I'm going to come back at 1 o'clock for you guys. Okay, so 1 o'clock, be prepared to hear my story. All right, bye, you guys.